Today we are going to look at 10 questions you should ask yourself to find your temptation patterns. This will help you gauge your vulnerability to temptation. And when you know your temptation patterns, you are then more prepared to overcome your struggles. By honestly answering these questions, you can learn much about yourself and about when you are most prone to fall. Number 1, what days of the week am I most tempted to sin? Do you find that your greatest struggles occur on weekends? Or on your really stressful work days? Or is it on some other day of the week? Number 2, what time of the day am I most tempted to sin? Is it early in the morning? Is it late at night? Is it at some other time? Do an analysis of your recent struggles. Number 3, where am I when I am tempted to sin the most? Are you at work? Are you at home? Are you in your own neighborhood or community, or are you far away from home on a vacation or a business trip? Number 4, who is around when I am tempted to sin the most? In other words, are there certain friends who seem to always be a part of your struggles? Or do your struggles happen most often when you are by yourself? Or are you most prone to struggle when you're around your spouse or your family? Number 5, what types of sins am I tempted to commit the most? In other words, what sin areas cause you the greatest vulnerability? Is it anger? Is it greed? Is it lust? Is it pride? Is it something else? It's good to identify these weak spots because you know Satan will be attacking in these areas. Number 6, how do I feel right before committing that sin? Do you feel tired? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel like no one cares? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel alone? This becomes really important because if you can identify these feelings before you fall into sin, in the future when these feelings come back, you will be able to make a conscious decision to either run from the sin or to go ahead and allow yourself to fall. Number 7, why do I think this sin is going to give me what I want? Is there a feeling of satisfaction that comes with this sin, even if it is short-lived? Are there other people telling you that you need this sin in your life? Number 8, what most influences my mind in a negative way? You may not want to think about this, but you need to pinpoint these negative influences. Do you start acting or thinking a certain way after you've listened to a certain kind of music? Do you start thinking negatively after watching a certain type of media? Or does it occur after you've been taking in the latest gossip on Facebook? Number 9, what most stimulates my fleshly desires? This is another way of asking the same question. And finally, number 10, what other factors are present that make me especially vulnerable to sin? It's important to look at everything. If we are honest with ourselves, we can identify many of the details that are present when we end up falling for temptation. Don't stick your head in the sand. It is important to figure out all of this. And then if you're really serious about overcoming temptation and living God's way, you'll begin praying and planning ahead for the next time Satan attacks you at your vulnerable points. And when he does, those triggers will go off in your mind and you'll be able to decide to either run from the temptation, run from the sin, or to go ahead and allow yourself to fall. God has given us the tools for spiritual victory, and that is the gospel in everyday life.